Good morning and thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Dan-Ikpoyi. I'm not here alone. I have Kemi Fola-Adeyemo in the studio with me. It's a good morning. Thank God it's Friday.
Absolutely, and you look brilliant. Good morning.
You too as well. And it seems situations are not tamping down anytime soon with regards to the cashless policy. And the CBN governor is being the talk of the town, if I may use that word, with regards to the House of Representative members saying that he needs to do something quickly to addressing this matter because a majority of their constituencies do not have banks, you know, in their rural areas, their environments and all of it. And the CBN governor, when he went to see the president in Katsina, Daura, yesterday, has said that they would not be rigid with this cashless policy of the thing. They understand our terrain and all of it, but that there is no going back with regards to the matter of cashless policy, which had begun since 2012. And that even in Daura, that he saw a super agent in a kiosk where he could just quickly do some things, and that they have over 1.4 million super agents across the country to addressing these concerns of rural areas not being able to, you know, use the cash, make transactions in the banks and all of it, so as to deepen the structure of commercial banks within such rural areas. And that this matter of cashless policy, yes, they understand the situation with Nigerians, but that they are going to not be rigid. There might be a tinkering here and there, but that it has come to stay.
Absolutely, and he's also going on to say Nigeria's position as the big brother in Africa. Like you said, it's a 2012 policy, and 10 years down the line, and now we are here. We are, and well, he made a good point of how cashless policy is the way to go all over the world, and Nigeria just needs to join the bandwagon. But that hasn't stopped the temperaments rising in and outside the National Assembly. Only the other day, it was the turn of the Senate, and now the House of Reps have spoken about it. Femi Gbajabiamila and the rest of the lawmakers also speaking loudly against it. The louder voices, at least on record, saying it's good, but the timing is wrong. Education of the masses is something that we don't see. We don't see happening before this policy was announced, even though there were the other arguments, of course, that it will curb crime. If we're going cashless now, hopefully we get to see a drastic reduction in crime, in ransoms, and all the other elements of our security challenges that we are presently facing. And of course, you know, the politicians too, the money inclinations of our politics here in Nigeria. Hopefully we get to see that also downplayed, but the last is yet to be heard. The Senate and the House of Reps may have a joint session
next week
to grill
because
the governor.
they have said, the
his
Senate
deputies.
had said that on Tuesday next week they are going to, you know, grill these persons, asking questions. And even the CBN governor spoke with regards to that. Yes, they are the legislature. They have their responsibilities, but at some point that they brief them whenever they are making all of these decisions. So I am wondering, okay, if you have briefed them on some of this decision, why the outcry suddenly seeming like they have no idea that you were going in this direction? Well, it is left to be seen what the conversation would be when they meet on Tuesday next week. Perhaps it will be a joint session, like you rightly pointed out, seeing that both houses are, you know, raising their voices with regards to this matter, and they're saying their constituents is what they are putting forward as being, you know, the issue why they are raising their concerns.
Came out to defend. In my own constituency, Professor Julius was saying there are many rural areas and we don't have banks. There are many people that deal in cash transactions and all that. So how do you expect me to defend it? You're right. It might just be a joint session because Senate is saying Tuesday, House of Reps is saying Thursday. So if we look at the logistics, if that is an issue, they might as well just have a joint session where all these issues are
resolved at once.
And perhaps we have more clarity if they perhaps educate people, if we push it, if you could not have it in 2010, what work did you do between then and now? He
2012.
says, that's about 10 years, you know, away from now. If we couldn't do it then, how did we what was the timeline like? Was there a deliberate timeline that this, like INEC has been doing ahead of the polls now? There was a timeline that they were following before an announcement as crucial as this. Yes, it may be basic in other countries, but this is Nigeria that every side must be considered, those in the rural areas, those in the urban areas. And there has been this conversation about us concentrating all our policies for the benefit of those, quote and unquote, in the urban areas, as against, the substantial chunk that we have in the rural
Absolutely.
areas.
It also brings to bear the fact that these persons at the National Assembly, those at the House of Reps and those at the Senate, should begin to look at developments
generally
across the board in their various constituencies, such that, how would you say that there are no banks in your constituency and all of it? What are you doing to ensure that something like that is, what is the collaboration you're having with the state governor? What are the conversations you're even having with stakeholders who can ensure that such things are present in your constituency moving forward? Now, the CBN is also talking about the fact that 85% of the cash, in the wrong hands, that the cash that are meant to be in the bank vaults are around, and they are trying to mop that up. That's why they are having this cashless policy, and they must push it as much as possible. So far, they've been able to recoup about 1 trillion naira. So it is gaining traction. But then again, perhaps not as fast as they want, but they want to deepen the whole process at the end of the day, in the benefit of Nigerians, no doubt. But then the structures needed to move this forward is what a lot of Nigerians are concerned about.